love flying my drone. I do. It's been a hobby for a while, and I've decided to make it more of a step in the career choice and do more commercial droning. I decided earlier in the year, you might remember, top 6 goals for the year. Probably my very first video of this year. So number 1, I want to get my drone pilot's license this year. I decided it was time. And first of all, I'm gonna admit I'm terrible at vlogging. I cannot remember to turn it on, and then when I do, I'm like, I really don't want to redo the thing I just said. So it's very frustrating. So I'm much more of a record stuff while it's happening, talk about it here in the studio kind of person. And even then it's, okay at best. With that in mind, this was a stressful thing. Like, I did not know that this drone pilot's license would be so stressful. To me, I've been flying for a while. I know how to fly the drone. I know how to land the drone. I know to make sure you do all of your updates and your firmwares and all that stuff because it could just fall out of the sky. But none of that part's on the test. So, and very little about actual drone flying is on the test. It's mostly about random other things like weather, who to call in certain situations, who's in charge, how to use a team, just various things like that that really is, none of these things I've ever really encountered. I kind of want to walk you guys through this sort of vlog, and then I'll tell you whether or not I actually pass my test at the end. I would just say either way, it was tough. Like, it's a hard test. Don't underestimate the test. Anyway, so let's just jump right in. Anyway, I am in Denton, Texas today, which is North Texas. It's raining. It's been raining for a while. And I've looked over all the material multiple times about 3 months ago. And I thought what I'll do is I'll come up, I'll stay in a hotel for a day or two, and I'll just study. Well, yesterday was my first day here. I didn't do anything. I felt sick. Then today, nothing has gone right. In the meantime, I'm just going to struggle away. I'm going to study some more. Hopefully, everything goes well. I'll be a pilot of the drones. All right, so it's like 10:44 at night. I've been studying. Honestly, only got like 3/4 of the way through the last final test of 137 questions. I was doing pretty well, so I felt confident enough. I was going to go to bed early. I thought rest was more important than staying up all night and trying to figure out, this test. When I figure, I'm a pretty lucky guy, I'll just kind of wing it. I think it's going to require quite a bit of luck. Now, I'm not missing any of the questions that I think are relevant questions, like how to fly the drone and things like that. I'm getting those 100%. But it's just the other random stuff that really has nothing to do with me. All right, so I'm here at the U.S. aviation place to take my test. I'm really nervous, actually. I'm surprised. I thought I'd get here and be okay, but I'm actually pretty nervous. I've been studying my sheets. I got here way early just because when I'm nervous about something, I like to get there even more early and not late. I'm pretty sure if I don't get it this time after seeing what it actually looks like, I'll for sure nail this thing. Anyway, all right, peace out. Then I wanted to take the test. Well, once you go in to take it, the lady was super nice. So basically you go in, you hand them your ID, make sure the address is correct, make sure you're legitimate, citizens, that you have a right to take this test, so on and so forth. So she tells me that there are about 3 other people and that I'm the only one taking the remote pilot's test. But we'd all be in a room together. So we get there, we walk into this little room, and it's pretty small, but there's probably 6 to 10 computers in there in this little cubicles. Well, I was the first one. She showed me where mine was. I sat down, didn't know what to do, was kind of a little confused. I knew they were supposed to give me some instruments and gauges and some charts and some magnifying glass or something like that. They'd warned me ahead of time they were going to give me. Suddenly, the other guy next to me sits down. Well, it's like two computers over, sits down. Loud crash, just boom, everything blows up. I don't know if it blew up, but it made a loud crash. And I look over, and his entire desk, I guess the way they're positioned is like hung on something. The whole thing fell, computer, everything, right to the ground. And so I'm like, man, if I wasn't already nervous, like, I'm flustered now. I know this thing's timed. I don't know how long, 2.5 hours, something like that. Lady tells us that she's going to leave the room, that she's the testing proctor, and she'll be monitoring us through some cameras. So this is where things get interesting. So I get started, and at this point, it's relatively funny. Like, I'm probably about 16 questions in on a 60-question test, and I realize I'm guessing on all of these so far because none of these were on the study material that I used. So I'm thinking, all right, so I paid $173 for this test.
I'm probably gonna have to retake it, but I'm gonna do a good job of paying attention to the questions that are on it so that I'll know what I need to study for the next one. And so about 20, 25 questions in, I'm like, oh, okay, now we're getting to stuff I know. This is stuff about some of the weather stuff, some of the how to find the tower signals, how far to go over a tower, how far to stay away from a tower, some of the cloud information that I remembered from when I was like probably in junior high. Okay, and then there's a few drone questions. There were a few speckled here and there. You'd think it would be all drone questions, but it's really not. 40 hits, 20 questions left. And I'm looking at my time, and I realize I'm really flying through this. I'm like 25 minutes into this thing, and I'm like, okay, well, okay, maybe I need to slow down. Going through and like, I don't know the answer to this. Best guess, C. Click, moving on. Click, click. So I'm sitting there and I'm really taking my time on each one of these. Click. And then I'm done. I look at the timer, 53 minutes. So 53 minutes to take a 2-hour test. I know at this point I've already failed because I didn't know more than half of those questions. I maybe had a quarter of those questions that I felt confident about. So I'm already in my mind trying to plan when can I take the next one, so on and so forth. So about that time the testing lady comes in, he goes, "Are you already finished?" I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh wow, you did it really fast. I don't know if anyone's ever finished that test that fast before." I was like, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, lady. I just bombed that thing. Like I had no idea what I was doing. I was guessing. And she just kind of smiled. And I guess she, super nice older lady. She just didn't want me to feel bad. And so she starts telling me some stories. I told her earlier on that I was a teacher. That's my day job. And so she starts telling me about this lady from another school, an area school, that she'd come in to take the test, and it took her 3 times. And then she's telling me that most people don't pass this test the first time. It's okay. And anyway, she's giving me all these stories and so on and so forth, and I'm sitting there. We're waiting for my results to come back, so I asked her. I said, "Well, how long do I have to wait?" She's like, "You got to wait 30 days before you can sign up for the test again." I was like, "Okay, well that's put me, still middle of summer. Maybe I can get it done before school starts. I really don't want to do it during the school year because it pulls me away from class." So she's like, "Oh, well, your results are in." She goes, "Let's take a look." And I was like, "Okay, let's take a look." Oh man, I'm never gonna hear the end of this from my family and friends, and everybody always brag about never failing a test too. And she looks at the score, she looks back at me, she looks back at the score, she looks back at me, and she goes, "Well, congratulations, pilot, you passed." I said, "What did I get?" She said, 70. I said, "What did I need?" She said, 70. So I'm a freaking drone pilot, dude. Yeah, don't even know how. So then we're going to leave. Like she's telling me all the things I need to do in order to, finish off this stuff, this website I got to go to apply for the license, to get the license now that I've got the pass grade, and put this little code in and all this stuff. And it's crazy. She goes, "Do you mind if I hang this one on the wall?" I was like, "Why?" She said, "No one has taken a test in 53 minutes and passed before." So I'm still the champ, baby. I'm still the champ. That's my story. So I'm an official drone pilot. I'm buying some aviators. I'm getting me like one of those cool jackets. All right, that's it for this week on Rob for Films. I'll keep you updated. I've got a couple of drone jobs actually coming up very soon, and I'm thinking about attempting a vlog. I know, they're terrible. I apologize, but maybe you learn from my mistakes. Until next time, go create something. All right.